It's been downhill for a while with a few arguments here and there, cropping up with him threatening to break up with me if I won't submit to whatever he thought was best. What the fuck? See, this is that toxic masculinity shit that comes around from people watching too much Andrew Tate and UFC fights without actually having any real life experience. Hi there, and welcome to the newest internet iteration of Dr. Phil. Yay! Today we're going to be going through some viewer and online internet submission forms about relationship advice, simply because I like doing it. So please grab your coffee, take a seat, and take a while to solve some situations that people just like you and me have found ourselves in, just because life happens. Away we go. My name's Dennis, and I find myself here because whenever people come to me and decide to have a little bit of a chat about their life relationships, I always find myself to be engrossed in the situation and just want to help people out. I myself have been in some crappy relationship situations, and I always love to impart my experience so that other people don't have to go through the same pain I feel. So happy days. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this one comes from relationship_advice Reddit for the win, posted by Pult P. The title goes, I don't know how to break up with my emotionally dependent boyfriend of 3 years. She's 24 female, he's 24 male. Let's see what goes. Straight off the bat, this hurts. Not because I'm an emotionally dependent man, but I may have been / am, who knows. But just because like relationships of 3 years, they hurt, you know. It's just like that in-between phase where you're past the honeymoon phase, you're kind of going off into that middle phase where you're trying to like figure each other out and be like, okay, well, hey, look, I no longer just want to fuck the shit out of you. I kind of want to, get to know you. And then you've moved on into the later stages where you're just like, is this the person where, I want to spend the rest of my life with them? That's usually around that 3-year mark, in my experience. Sometimes it happens earlier, like a year and a half, 2 years. And so it hurts. But so far, I think it's going to be a painful situation, but something positive, because this is a positive question to be asking yourself, if anything. Let's get to it. So I, 24 female, have fallen out of love with my 24 male boyfriend of 3 years. I know it sounds pretty straightforward, and IG, it kind of is. Oh, I get it. It kind of is, but I don't know how to let him down. It's been downhill for a while with a few arguments here and there, cropping up with him threatening to break up with me if I won't submit to whatever he thought was best. What the fuck? See, this is that toxic masculinity shit that comes around from people watching too much Andrew Tate and UFC fights without actually having any real life experience. Anyway, an example of this is my view on marriage. I don't want to get married. Not to him, not to any. Oh my god, not to him, not to anyone. Straight up, here we go. But marriage is a foundational part of what he wants in a relationship, and we've sort of just ignored it to skip arguing. But it happens now and then. I mean, off the bat, like when people start questioning marriage, like marriage is a foundational tenet of modern society / society, full stop. I wouldn't say modern society. And so if you're questioning marriage, it shows that on some level, like psychologically speaking, like you're just questioning things. And not necessarily if this is the reason why you're questioning a relationship, but at the same time, it shows like a progressive mindset. So if he is like wanting to submit to his will and he like wants marriage, it shows like a quite traditional mindset. So you have a progressive and a traditional, and they don't necessarily mesh together unless there's like some sort of relationship / respectful underpinning of the relationship where you provide something, he provides something, and it meshes well together, I guess. And you're also very giving. But yeah, traditional and progressive, they're quite flammable ingredients. Anyway, the part I'm actually struggling with is he's emotionally dependent on me, sometimes dependent for daily routines or maintenance like taking medicine or whatever. Anytime I've tried talking about my concerns, it's just a fight I end up apologizing over. That's so sad. But I'm just not sure how to go about ending things without feeling so guilty for abandoning his emotional dependency. How do I go about this? It sounds like he has parental issues, as does everyone nowadays. I feel attacked, but yeah, it's tough. If you try and talk about your concerns and then you start having an argument and you apologize for it, I mean, that in itself is a very submissive action. So, I mean, the fact that he complains he won't submit of other things, but do submit to some things, it shows for me that there's like a double standard. Maybe that's something that you should start thinking about in the future. On top of which, when you start to stand up for yourself and the other person starts fighting back and doesn't open up and listen to it, I think that's also a character trait that delineates some form of lack of emotional intelligence, maturity, just general adultness. So that's another turn off, especially when a man, needs mummy to look after him. Like, you want to be his wife, his lover, his partner, you want to be able to support him, yeah, sure, but you don't want to be his foundational bedrock. He's meant to be your foundational bedrock. I mean, if we're talking about, I know we just said, progressive and traditional, but I mean, I think there are some underpinnings of sexual attraction, and that is a polar dynamic. So one's masculine, one's feminine. If you want to get into that sort of spirituality thing, and if he's just being neither male nor female but a little bitch, then that's a turn off. So yeah, I mean, how do you feel guilty about his emotional dependency? You are going to feel bad regardless. I mean, I think that right now you're just weighing up what feels worse. The fact that you're this grown man's mother, who's also your partner, and how he's just suffocating you, mentally, spiritually, maybe physically. I'm not going to say, in ways that you like or don't like, but, in just a stifling manner. I'm taking away from sexual innuendos straight away. And, if that feels bad, worse, or not as bad as, his feelings of pain of you abandoning him, there has to be some form of break here. It's either you're going to break or he's going to break. And right now he is breaking you by the sounds of things. So it is sad. How do you go about doing this? Just acknowledge the fact that there will be pain either way, knowing that suffering, as Buddha says, is the only constant. And as soon as you can accept that, you kind of go, okay, well, which pain do I want? Do I want my pain, the one that is making you feel, or do you want his pain? And then you go about and just have a mature conversation about it, and if he starts yelling and complaining and so on, it's just, furthering the point. Just stay on track, stay on topic. Say, I'm trying to have a discussion with you. Like, don't yell. I'm doing this out of respect. I think that's going to be a key point as well. Just telling him that you respect him, because men deal with respect is a very masculine word. So if you take away the feminine element of it and just become masculine straight down the line, where it becomes you telling him things, I think that he'll feel a little bit confused about what's going on. Like, who is this person? Who's she talking to? But it'll also take away any sort of, loving care that you have for him, which will also mean that you're able to kind of shield that for yourself and just like tell him, like, these are the facts. And then when you're away from him, then you can go to your girlfriends or other supportive guy friends that hopefully don't want to get in your pants, and just, open up that vulnerable part of you so that you can then be, healed from that side, because it sounds like, he's a little bit abusive in some way. And I mean that in the nicest way. I mean, I don't know how you can be nice and abusive at the same time, because I just want to be respectful for the fact that you guys have a relationship, or you two people have a relationship, and he's just not respecting you. And respect women's, my God. But yeah, he's not respecting you as a person, and he's not letting you. Because what are we as people? We have relationships with other people, and we have thoughts about things and how we relate with our world and our life and those sort of things. And he's not letting you express those feelings about what marriage means to you and what those sort of things. Well, I'm guessing that if he's not open to talking about marriage, he's not also open to talking about other sort of philosophical questions, which at the end of the day, marriage really is. So yeah. So yeah, too long didn't read version. You want to break up with your boyfriend, because he is traditional and you are progressive, and you two are no longer meshing together, but you are butting heads, and you are finding that he is treating you like a mummy and not as a honey. And you are just like, how do I let him go into that good night and not go raging off and hack me up with a chainsaw after he's tied me down and beat the shit out of me. So, yeah, I wish you all the best, and let's see what you say. All right, so tippity tap type. This is what I write. That kind of rhymes. Fuck. Cool. Hey son, palt p. Palt is like a Swedish potato dish. Whatever. Tuffy here, but I feel for you. If I understand correctly, your man is acting up and his traditional values are not vibing / meshing with your progressive values. In my opinion, they usually never do unless there's some major concessions made by either party. He's making you feel more like a mummy than a honey, and it's a turn-off. More importantly, he doesn't entertain your mental musings about marriage, etc. I can imagine he's also not open to other ideas you might have that go against the grain of modern society. In my opinion, you have two options, both of which are painful. Choose to suffer yourself under his abusive, but not so abusive, hold on the relationship, or choose to let him go into that good night and sort through your own pain, let him sort out his own pain in your / his own way. How do you do this, you ask? I would go to him and start it by hitting it on the head, but use the word out of respect for you right at the start, because it's a very masculine way to phrase a conversation. I don't think he respects you as a feminine person, if you want to use those spiritual terms, so keeping it masculine, matter of fact, straight down the line will make sense to him, but will also protect you from emotional crap coming his way if you go in with that mindset. After which you can go to your own girlfriends / guy friends, open up about how this break is breaking you, because 3 years is a long time to have something with someone regardless of the era, and mourn the loss of what was before moving to something that could be. Too long didn't read. Breakups suck. They always have and always will. Hit the nail on the head. Keep it matter of fact. Don't get emotional with insults. The relationship is dead, so don't need to beat it up any further than it already is. Go to your friends after and get them to help with the mourning process. Smiley face. So how did I do? Write down in the comment section below to let me know what you think and how I did. And we can have a discussion about things. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you can get updated when I make new videos. Thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. Or woman. I don't know, it's 2023. You could be either, both, or whatever.